Boom. I'm going to have to go get some cat food, which I didn't actually consider. I knew I had given away my one bag of cat food for what was going to be a discount on some cannabis product, but then I forgot to give it to him until after the process, so I have that coming to me in life. You know what's good to have? Is the cannabis industry owing you a favor. But only for me. For the rest of you, I suggest exercise, diet, meditation, and a healthy lifestyle. For me, well, I'll tell you what I suggest. I suggest that I not overlook a couple things here. Number one of which is, obviously, I am every influenced moment of my life compiled into that which is spitting out this diatribe in the real time that I'm recording it. In other words, I'm sure that I'm going to say some stuff that somebody else has said or that has been in another presentation, and I'm not even saying I'm not mimicking it or bringing it into my reality as something that I believe, because what we are obviously is a whole process of internal considerations. I'm going to get your food right now, so quit it, okay? Jeez. I know, I forgot. But in other words, I've never bought into that. Well, this is me, having this moment of, I don't know. Einstein seems like he probably had some superior thoughts, right? Like, I'm not sure we all get to that level without some true internal mechanisms that are geared at a special rate. But for the rest of us, what we learn is what we get to know, what we get to perceive, what others tell us, what we experience, what we think in our head, how stuff works out, how it doesn't work out. I mean, we're an amalgamation of everything we go through. So I've gone through a lot. I've listened to a lot. I find a lot of people to have given me something of value. And I mean a lot of people. So, because there are so many, and because there are many that I've overlooked, I'm sure even just in my first speech here, that probably are influential in a way that I should have recognized. But having always been poor at that, Lawrence Krauss, and even you, Lawrence Kasdan, but having been poor at that most of my life, I'm not about trying to be perfect. And yet I am about recognizing those people who have helped me find grace. And there's nobody I've got more recordings of, more go back to moments of, more, honestly, connection with than Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris, and Joe Rogan. And I'm not in any capacity saying that these guys are listening to anything I do, but I'm going to tell the universe that without those three, I don't know that I can have completed this journey with the confidence I have. And Christopher Hitchens is probably my very first hero that matters. And at a time when I was very adroit with my tongue, actually, I got to get going here. What am I doing? I'm standing around. First of all, do I have money? Yep. All right. I think I am equipped to walk. Let's go do this thing where people walk and talk, and you got to ignore them because they're clearly not talking to you, right? They're just talking, even though they're coming at you, kind of looking at you, but then they've got that microphone in their hand or whatever. I don't know. Point is, you mumble your way across my path. I assume the last thing you're doing is trying to get my attention. But when I'm mumbling my way across your path, 90 times out of 20, I'm trying to get your attention. And so this new mumble universe that everyone ignores me, I've had to learn to enunciate better and express myself in ways that I am heard instead of opening my mouth and talking to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Nobody see me? That's no longer viable. People don't give a shit about that anymore. Hey, there's my mask. So, finally, right? God, the dog's going nuts. Think she's going. This is where I'm going to go. Dose of disappointment. I'm going to the store. Stay back. I'm going to the store. Sit. Sit. Phoebe, sit. All right, is this what you need? You need CRATED? Phoebe, I'm gonna be gone 15 minutes, stop it. I'm going to the store. Shush. I said I'll walk when I get back, not now. I'm getting your food, cat. Quit looking at me like that. Oh my God. Sometimes getting out of my house with those two. I mean, dog barking at me like I don't see her jumping in front of me. She gotta get my attention. Audibly. There she goes again. But Christopher Hitchens has such a dignified way of combating contrary opinion. He's graceful. He is filled with dignity. He is the sort of depth and width of knowledge that is, in my opinion, the true sign of genius. Sam Harris has a lot of that. And you know what Joe Rogan has? Joe Rogan has the level of curiosity to be willing to chase down truth and meaning in a universe full of chicanery. And he does it with humor and doggedness. I know he's I know he's putting some fence posts up around himself now. And I don't mean he's doing it intentionally. I just know that how the universe works. He's getting further and further away from being able to be his real self. Because his real self got him to a position that, frankly, they corralled him. Love that word, don't I? Whew, it's cold out here. But they corralled him because, unfortunately, Joe Rogan was getting, he had some things right. He has a lot of things right. And I'm impressed by how much he cares about everybody else. And so same with Sam Harris. Oh my God. Sam Harris is, if anybody is walking around that's actually God, it's Sam Harris. But it all started with Christopher Hitchens, who, God is not great. I must have listened to 100 times. And some of those chapters put me to sleep still to this day, because I know that what is coming I enjoy hearing, to the point that it turns my mind off and lets me get to rest. And when I really needed somebody to help, he gave me the first true path to divinity, in the sense that I recognized how much grace he had given to his opponents when he was superior every single time. There was never a time that he wasn't speaking with somebody who came with fewer tools in the box, because he's as good as it ever was. And so when I have these moments at work where I think, wait, you're recognizing Zeth for what? I mean, seriously? What? Feeling slighted in so many ways, and frankly knowing I am being slighted. But okay, so here's where the universe says, okay, so you're saying that you were put on this planet to get to this moment in time where you were such an observant and critiquing eye of experience that you don't miss anything, that Zeth is definitely being rewarded in a capacity in which it is inferior work over your clearly superior work being recognized for things that you haven't even been given a pat on the back for in an official capacity. Zeth is now, I'm sure, the employee who looks like he's come out of the gates on fire. Number one, I have no idea if any of that's actually true. Although there is some evidence in my corner, a lot of it. Nonetheless, who gives a shit? I mean, seriously, is that what this superpower of observation is supposed to be used for? Is to determine whether or not Zeth's getting more Guac Star cards than me? No. God, I hope not. So, I've said earlier that I have a hard time when I see the game being tilted against me with the sort of, I don't know. This isn't even an example of this, because it's incompetence. It's straight up incompetence. But that incompetence comes from being unable to stay attuned to the detail enough to be correctly assessing the department / store that you run. I never took those responsibilities lightly. I always assumed that if you came down into the department and said, hey, the wall's kind of empty, do we have any racks that we can price and get out, to the people who are literally rack producing, pricing, and getting out stuff as you ask them, I think to myself, well, did you look? What did you want to catch us doing? I mean, that's I don't know, that's human being 101. Don't treat anybody with the kind of distracted attention that shows you're not really paying attention to them. You're just trying to get through the moment because it's an annoying moment that is just a prelude to some other moment that you really want to be experiencing. Well, I don't know. I don't want to feel like that. I want to feel like at least we're having a real moment. If you think something needs to get done, justify it. And if I'm in agreement, I'm 100% on board, going to work my ass off for it. And if I'm not, even slightly not, then I will constructively say, should this be something we consider? Is this another route? Is this something else? I will respectfully give my options. I mean, what else am I doing? Okay, I'm at the store, and I'm not going to wander in there and have this conversation.